Have you also heard of chatbots that can solve complex math problems, design websites or help you prepare a prenuptial agreement? AI companies seem to offer a solution that humanity hasn't known before: artificial intelligence. ChatGPT big language model has started a race between AI startups and established tech giants. Who will become the new Google? Will it be Google or some unknown startup emerging in a garage? Welcome to the Invest with Jiri channel, where I discuss investing and working with money in general. Today I focus on ETF titles that can be bought like stocks with a simple buy order and that contain dozens of companies developing artificial intelligence. For today's video I've selected 15 ETFs and ranked them by expense ratio, time of inception, track record, top 5 positions and net assets. I recently made a video on selecting AI stocks to invest in. If you'd rather invest in individual AI company stocks, check out the link. Why invest in AI companies via ETFs? The main reason is diversification. ETFs contain a wide range of companies, so the risk is spread across several companies. If you invested in just one stock and it started to lose value, your portfolio would suffer significant losses. With ETFs, you have the opportunity to tap into the growth potential of the entire AI sector and average across all AI titles. Let's take a look at specific ETFs I selected. AI-powered equity ETF, ticker AIEQ, holds stocks of companies developing artificial intelligence and uses machine learning to construct a portfolio. Global X Artificial Intelligence and Technology ETF, ticker AIQ, focuses on artificial intelligence in quantitative trading. WisdomTree International AI Enhanced Value Fund, ticker AIVI. Based on a quantitative AI model, they invest in value stocks. ARK Autonomous Technology and Robotics ETF, ticker ARKQ, invests in companies specializing in autonomous vehicles and robotics. Global X Robotics and Artificial Intelligence ETF, ticker BOTS, focuses on companies in robotics and automation. Tidal Trust II Roundhill Generative AI and Technology ETF, ticker CHAT, a fund investing in artificial intelligence, AI and generative AI. iShares Robotics and Artificial Intelligence Multi-Sector ETF, ticker IRBO, invests in companies active in robotics and artificial intelligence. SPDR S&P Kensho New Economies Composite ETF includes companies involved in technology development and innovation, including artificial intelligence. Defiance Quantum ETF, ticker QTUM. It focuses on companies using artificial intelligence and quantum technology. Robo Global Robotics and Automation Index ETF, ticker ROBO, holds stocks of companies involved in robotics, artificial intelligence and automation. First Trust Nasdaq Artificial Intelligence and Robotics ETF, ticker ROBT, includes companies involved in robotics, artificial intelligence and technology development. Robo Global Artificial Intelligence ETF, ticker THNQ, includes companies in the global artificial intelligence market of various sizes. IQ Global Equity R&D Leaders ETF, ticker WRND, have exposure to growth companies with high R&D spending. WisdomTree Artificial Intelligence UCITS ETF, ticker WTAI.L, fund tracking the Nasdaq CTA Artificial Intelligence Index. This index focuses on companies in all areas of AI. iShares Exponential Technologies ETF, ticker XT, invests in companies involved in the development and deployment of artificial intelligence in various industries. Okay, but I would prefer to pick one ETF and invest in that. How do I do that? As you can see on the Excel spreadsheet, all the companies are listed underneath and contain the necessary information to sort them by. First, we will look at the expense ratio, which is a number that shows us how much it costs to manage an ETF annually. I'm going to rank it from the highest number. The lower the number, the lower the annual management fee we pay. I'll exclude any that are greater than 0.58%. I'm going to exclude 8 companies. Let's move on. Now I'm going to exclude companies based on inception, which is the year the ETF was founded. It's good to have ETFs that have a longer history because it gives me more information about their performance and stability. I require a history of at least 5 years, so so I can compare the ETF to the S&P 500 index. So I'm eliminating 4 companies from 2019 to present. Another factor is track record, which is the performance history of the ETF on the price chart. I want to find ETF with a better track record and more stable results. In order to get the result, I will compare the S&P 500 index with each ETF based on a visual view, with grades from the worst C to the best A. The following chart shows the last 5 years. The thick blue line highlights the S&P 500 index, ticker SPX, and the remaining companies from my selection are shown around it. I can immediately see that I can exclude AIVI and RRBO moving below the S&P 500 most of the time. I grade them C. Conversely, I grade XT and B, and I grade QTM and COMP and A. Next, I want to know what AI stocks or investments the ETF holds. Do the stocks held fit the industry I'm looking for? For the other 3 tickers, QTM, COMP and XT, I look to see what stocks they hold in their top 5 positions. QTM holds IONQ Core 4185 LSCC NVDA. Other than NVDA, the companies don't appeal to me. I'm eliminating QTM. COMP is held by Coin, HAT, TDY, Snap and Meta. These companies outside of Meta don't interest me either. I'm eliminating COMP. Ticker XT is held by NVDA, Meta, MDB, PLTR and Exas. Bingo! They are exactly the kind of companies that fit my idea of quality companies with a long history and large enough capitalization to make me choose them. We still have net assets left, which is the amount people have invested in this ETF. If the net assets are high, it means that many people know about it and are likely to trade it. Without this, we would not be able to buy and sell ETFs, ideally more than $250 million. XT has passed through this net and has become a favorite of mine. I'll summarize the parameters for selecting the XT ETF. Expense ratio, ideally 0.46%, has sufficient history since 2015, i.e. 8 years of history to explore. In a visual comparison with the S&P 500, XT passed. XT holds the 5 largest positions in quality and established companies consistent with my intention to invest in AI stocks. What else can I learn about XT? XT ETF price performance year to date is a nice plus 16%. Annual dividend yield is 0.7%, not great. Average volume around 123,000, where below 100,000 I would have a problem with it. The issuer of XT is BlackRock Financial Management, which is an established financial institution. Let's take a more in-depth look at the top 5 companies held by XT Fund. NVIDIA is one of the world's largest GPU and artificial intelligence companies. It has a high market capitalization and is considered one of the most important companies in the technology sector. It recently touched a 1 trillion capitalization after skyrocketing by tens of percent in a single day. Meta, Facebook Inc., operated as Meta Platforms Inc., is one of the largest technology companies in the world. It has a high market capitalization and is best known for Facebook. It is currently struggling with the Meta World project, which has a controversial tingle to it, but well, let's wish them the best. Let's hope the Artificial World project doesn't sink them. MDB, MongoDB, is a software company specializing in the development and delivery of the MongoDB database system. While not as large as NVIDIA or Meta, it is still a highly regarded company. I've used Mongo a few times in programming and it doesn't compare to the slow and outdated MySQL. That's just for the record, they are good. PLTR, Palantir Technologies, is an American software company focused on data analytics and artificial intelligence. Although smaller than NVIDIA or Meta, it has gained attention for its involvement in security and data processing. There has been a lot of buzz around it in the media, but mainly on Reddit. The potential is there. Exas, Exact Sciences Corporation, is a biotechnology company focused on the development and commercial operation of molecular diagnostic tests for the detection of cancer and other medical conditions. It is smaller than NVIDIA, Meta or MongoDB, but is known for its innovative diagnostic technologies. Basically, they are able to diagnose X-ray images much more accurately than doctors. It seems like these AI gadgets could soon be in our doctors' offices. Summary of my selection of the XT ticker. I realize that in some cases today's analysis is a subjective choice, but that's just the way investing is. We all gravitate towards something a little different, and only time will tell where the truth was. So don't hold it against me. That evaluating a company's visual price performance or assessing a fund's 5 largest positions is subject to my point of view, which may be diametrically opposed to yours. In any case, I stand by my selection of the XT ETF, and I think I used a fine enough sieve that remove ETFs that could negatively swing the portfolio's performance. How much of the portfolio should be invested in AI ETFs? That's a good question, and from my experience it should be in units of percent. After all, we have other interesting industries, robotics, CRISPR, IoT and many more that deserve our attention and especially our money. We must therefore be very selective and choose only the best that the investment world has to offer for our portfolio. That's all for today. Have fun and invest wisely.